Maria, you know, you were a part of the original Emerging Leader Program, and you and your team of fellow leaders at Esperanza went through the four-week process as well as the follow-up coaching. And so I'm just reaching out to you today to ask you, what were your biggest takeaways from the program? What did you notice about yourself after participating in the program? Anything that stands out for you?
Yes, as a leader, director of the program, you think that, the way that you are conducting the leadership or the direction, it's, you're trying your best. I think with your program, you discover, well, I personally discover, the strengths I had that I was blind in the past to them. It's kind of, you have them, but you made us explode them and find out a little bit of, what we have, what a strong leader I can become using my strengths. Um, Creating the board, one of the exercises that you gave us, and I'm speaking from my heart, I was hesitant. I was like, I have to do another exercise. But in fact, that exercise helped me to really discover through my artistic ways, which is one of my, also is another strength that I have, what was the strongest in me as a director, not only to apply to my staff, but also to the administration of the organization. So that made me so happy after discovering those, because definitely in a couple of days, I had a situation when one of my higher ups had in a meeting, it confront me with certain things about the work. And in the past, I have been quiet and humble about it. But this time I was really sure about, I remember the chart. That chart is always in my back, okay? And I had to speak and say, okay, wait a minute. This is what I give to the job. This is what Maria can do. And this person even back up and says, wow,
I,
who
I
is this
just want to
person,
jump
right?
in. I want to jump in on that because I remember the vision board that you created was amazing. I mean, it was more than I had expected. And I remember when I announced that we were going to do vision boards, you just kind of sighed and was like, oh my gosh, I could read your body language. And I was thinking as a facilitator, like, oh my goodness, did I push too much on this cohort so too soon? And so that last day, when you came in with that masterpiece and presented it in such a confident way, and now to hear you say that helped you in a meeting stand up and say, no, this is what I bring to the table. This is what I know I do. And my artistic strength helps me to communicate that more effectively. Wow, that just, really,
Yes.
really moves me.
I think in a class, you touch all the strengths, and you made us find those one more time, right? But once you discover your strengths again, having a visualize, creating that chart was very important. Like you said, at the beginning, I was like, oh no, right? We have to create something for everybody and present it to everybody. And I'm a really humble person on that. But when I start doing the chart, really it came in my mind, wow, I'm this and I'm this. And I start discovering things that, that what that mean. Okay, I have this strain. I knew that I had it, but I didn't know what was involved about it. So having a visual was amazing. It was like something not only for me to discover and search about it, but also to have it always in the back of my head. Listen, Maria, this is how you are, and this is what you can give not only to the organization but also to the staff, to the to the people that that you talk every day as a director.
And you know what else I remember, Maria? You
Mhm.
saying that seeing the fellow participants, the other leaders in the organization, to do that exercise where you could actually see what their strengths were when you all were in the room beside your particular strengths, and you were like, oh, okay, so this is why they like to execute, and this is why they like to strategize, and this is, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. You know, with the coworkers that we were in a meeting, boy, we see each other every day, right? On a regular basis. And you kind of know how they work, but the exercise also helped me to discover them in another way that I didn't know. It was easy for me now to understand, you know, what strengths the other person has to better not only communicate, but how we can work together in a better way. So it was amazing to know that these coworkers had other strengths that, you know, how we can always bundle up and make it better.
I love it. And I think it solidified for me as a facilitator the importance of having this as a team cohorted experience, a team of leaders, of female leaders in the organization going through it together, because then you understand each other more, but you can also have each other's backs, so to speak, in the workplace, because you know, I think you said to me, if someone's in a meeting and they're saying, well, I don't really understand this one, or I don't understand what she means. And then you can step back and say, well, you know, she really likes to strategize. Give her that space to let her think about the strategy before you jump into execution. I think we talked a little bit about that, being able to really know the other women on your team.
Yeah, you know, the strengths when they presented also, you know, their charts open the thinking to me like, okay, I've been talking to this person this way, you know, when their strengths are different. And for instance, you know, there was another coworker who I always come with this big process and this big, you know, introduction, when in fact her strengths were short. You know, she likes, you know, things up front, short. And knowing that was amazing also, because now when I go to her and I need something, I go directly to the point. And I said, wow, this really works.
I know she appreciates that.
Absolutely. She even mentioned it to me. Oh, wow, Maria, now we communicate much better. And it's
Wow.
because, you know, we get to know each other, you know, in a better, how can I say that? To work better, faster, and to know the strengths of each one of us,
Beautiful.
even if we see everybody and, you know, on a regular basis.
What
It
would you
helps us a lot.
say? Okay. I'm glad that it helped you a lot, and I'm glad that you found a way to communicate more effectively outside of the session. One of my biggest challenges as a facilitator and a leader of programs like this is that I want to figure out how to keep the energy going, how to keep people engaged after the program is over. And so to hear you say that you all, you know, the two of you, you and your coworker are able to say, you know what, you're communicating more effectively. I get you. I understand you better. That really solidifies how effective the program was.
Right.
As I remember interviewing you prior to the start of the program, and then, you know, a little bit after. And I remember you saying to me, I want to build my confidence. I
Yes.
want to feel confident in asserting myself, speaking up in meetings. I have the information, I have the knowledge, but I want to assert myself. And so my last question to you is, how do you feel now in that area? Do you feel an increased confidence as a result of the program? And if so, can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Yes, 100%. You know, it make me confident to know that, you know, I can use certain strengths that I, you know, that I discover creating the chart. not only to the administrative part of the job, but also to my staff and coworkers. So it's funny because now not only I feel confident in what I do, but I help my workers for them to find their strengths and for them to also feel confident.
Wow.
So it's not only, you know, apply to me what I gain, but also now I'm talking about it. You know, I'm reading the books that you gave us and searching a little bit more about it, and you know, it's it helps me tremendously. Thank you so
You
much.
know what? You thank you so much. Thank you for agreeing to talk to me a bit about your experience in the program, and then sharing with me not only how it has affected you or impacted you, but as a great leader, we know that as we grow and develop, we can help our team grow and develop. And that's what you just said. You know, it's not just about your strengths, but now you help your team identify their strengths, and you lead from that space. And I just can't thank you enough for sharing that. And just again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Albina.